You signed a letter demanding that elite institutions and universities stop accepting money from fossil fuel companies. Is that correct?
This is correct.
You consider Tulane an elite university?
I would like to think that we have a high standard of excellence in our education and our research.
Okay. Well, the Murphy family of Murphy Oil and the Deming family of Murphy Oil have recently given Tulane $25 million. Have you called on Tulane to give that money back?
Well, it's not, they didn't give that money to my unit or the department or school that I work in.
Have you called on Tulane to give that money back, or you think that's okay for them to keep it?
Folks, welcome back to Liberty Trigger, where we cut through the noise, expose hypocrisy, and tell it like it is. If you love this country, if you value truth over spin, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell. Because today, oh boy, we got a doozy. So Senator John Kennedy, God bless him, took a so-called expert, Professor Keenan, to school. And let me tell you, this was one of the most revealing exchanges I've seen in a while. Because what Kennedy exposed here wasn't just hypocrisy. It was elite, ivory tower, double-standard nonsense at its finest.
It's their prerogative, not mine.
Okay. Yet you just signed a letter saying that all elite universities should refuse fossil fuel money. Did you put a footnote in there and say, except my own?
Well, what I'd like to say, Senator, is that I believe it raises a conflict of interest for those that research climate change that are supported by the fossil fuel industry.
Yeah, but then why don't you ask Tulane to give the $25 million back?
Well, I think in the context, if that money were to be used to support climate research, information, disinformation, or whatever it may be, then that may be an appropriate conflict of interest. But I think in the context of which
you don't see the hypocrisy here?
It is hypocrisy in those that may read and interpret it as such.
Maybe it's like Washington. If there weren't double standards, there wouldn't be standards at all. Let me ask you this. You also participated in another article here criticizing Houston for building new buildings and McMansions. And you said, I'm going to read your quote. I don't want to misquote you, Professor. That means we have to change our consumer preferences. You could have a super efficient, energy efficient mega mansion in Houston or the suburbs, but it's still a mansion. You're still over-consuming space. Did you say that?
Yes, sir. That's based on work as a member of the IPCC. Our research suggested that reducing our footprint in terms of total spatial footprint would have significant impacts on the decarbonization of the built environment.
And so you're saying that people should live in smaller houses because larger houses contribute to CO2 emissions?
100%, Senator.
Okay. Well, recently, Tulane finished the Commons. It was 77,000 square feet, $55 million. Recently, Tulane finished the Gold Ring Woldenberg Business Complex, $35 million to complete, 92,000 square feet. Boy, that's a McMansion. Mustapher Hall, 23,000 square feet. Paul Hall, 36,000 square feet. Richardson Hall, 50,000 square feet. Housing redevelopment phase 1, 230,000 square feet at Tulane. Have you called upon Tulane to stop these buildings?
Sir, the habitable space within those units are roughly the size of the conference room back there and are indeed quite small.
But they contribute to
everything that we do, sir.
Does the Commons contribute more to climate change than a McMansion in Houston? You were pretty quick to criticize the people of Houston for wanting to build, you thought, McMansions. But you don't criticize your own university?
I don't find that to be equivocal comparison between space meant for students who must reside at a university.
You don't see the hypocrisy in that?
Here's the setup. Professor Keenan has been wagging his finger at the people of Houston, regular, hard-working families who want to build homes for their families. He called them McMansions, the classic liberal elitist insult, basically saying, you don't need that much space, peasants. Scale down, live smaller, consume less, because the climate gods demand your sacrifice. But Kennedy, being Kennedy, turned around and says, "Hold on, Professor. Your own university, Tulane, is building massive complexes. We're talking 77,000 square feet here, 92,000 square feet there, millions of dollars in giant, shiny new buildings. So why is it bad for families in Houston, but it's okay for your school?" And what does Keenan say? Does he admit to hypocrisy? No, he dodges. He dances. He says, "Oh, well, that's different. Students need housing." Folks, that's nonsense. Do you think families in Houston don't need housing? Do you think they're building for fun? No. They're raising children, creating memories, building a future. But in his world, elites get a pass and you get the guilt trip. And then Kennedy drops the hammer. He points out that Keenan signed a letter demanding elite universities stop taking money from fossil fuel companies. But guess what? Tulane, his very own school, took $25 million from a family tied to Murphy Oil. $25 million. Did Keenan demand they give it back? Nope. He shrugs. He says, "Not my prerogative." Are you kidding me? He wants every other school in America to give up funding, but when it's his paycheck, suddenly the rules don't apply. This is the heart of the leftist hypocrisy, folks. They want rules for you, but not for them. You drive a truck, they shame you. You build a house for your family, they call it wasteful. You fill up your gas tank so you can get to work, they tell you to buy a $60,000 electric car. Meanwhile, they're flying private jets, building mega buildings, cashing oil checks, and patting themselves on the back for being woke. And you know what? Senator Kennedy nailed it. If Washington didn't have double standards, it wouldn't have standards at all. That's the truth right there. These academics and climate crusaders don't actually want equality. They want control. They want to dictate how you live, while they live however they please. Let me be clear. I care about the environment. I think most patriots do. We want clean air, clean water, and a healthy future for our kids. But here's the difference. We don't buy into this elitist scam where working-class Americans are shamed for wanting a decent home, while universities and bureaucrats get to live like kings. That's not environmentalism. That's hypocrisy dressed up in a lab coat. So here's the takeaway. Senator Kennedy exposed the game. Don't let them shame you into submission while they break their own rules. Hold them accountable. Call out the hypocrisy. Because if we don't, they'll keep building their castles while telling us to live in shacks. If you agree with Senator Kennedy, smash that like button. Drop a comment below. Tell me, do you think Tulane should return that $25 million fossil fuel donation? And if you're tired of double standards and elitist hypocrisy, subscribe right now. This fight is just getting started, and we need every patriot on board. This is Liberty Trigger. Hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe, because the truth needs to be louder than their lies. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.